Morning, everyone. Almost good afternoon, I suppose. Sam, you said we're going live on Kelowna's page too?
Yes, on
All
Kelowna's
right.
page, YouTube, all over the interwebs. We're live.
Oh, no pressure. Well, good morning to everyone hopping on. I know it takes a little bit for people to start trickling in, but good morning to our Fruitful Yield friends, our Kelowna friends. My name is Molly Miller. I'm the marketing manager for Fruitful Yield, and I've done some live streams before. So on the Fruitful Yield side, you guys may have seen me before. Hello to all the new Kelowna friends. Today we're doing a Q&A with Kelowna. We were supposed to host this on Fruitful Yield's page, had tremendous difficulty doing that. So the Kelowna team was kind enough to lend us their streaming platform, which is why we're on Kelowna's pages too. So hello and welcome. Let's get into the Q&A. We're just going to get to know Kelowna a little bit better. These two gentlemen here are going to introduce themselves in a minute, and then we're going to get to know a little bit more about KalonaSuperNatural Creamery. So Joe, why don't you start? Give us a little bit more info about yourself.
Thanks, Molly. And I'll say from the KalonaSuperNatural side, welcome to our pages. Very happy to be on with you. I would love to hear a little bit more in the introduction as well at some point here about Fruitful Yield so that our customers that are in the Chicago area can know a little bit about why they should be visiting your stores. I know you've been huge supporters of us, of our products for a long time, and we appreciate that. So loving the opportunity. You know, we haven't been in the last year, we haven't been able to get out live to visit a lot of the stores for a while. So to be able to talk to your customers and to share our story, it's opening up awesome new opportunities like this for us to get together. And I appreciate that. I'm Joe Miller, sales and brand manager for Kelowna. I've been with Kelowna for about a year now, so I'm fairly new to the family, but it's a family-owned company and joined them mid last year. Come from a background of working with dairy farmers and organic dairy products for many years. Love family farms, love the passion that they bring to their products because they're small family farms. And I know we're going to get into a little bit of that with Kelowna, so I'll hold off on that. But just saying, I come from a history of loving dairy. And
I like it. Me too.
Excellent.
Well, I'm Sam Ingersoll. I'm a storyteller. I get to be on the farms. I get to talk to customers all the time. KalonaSuperNatural is a very unique organic dairy product. Our farms that we source it from are very unique, and it's just a delight to be here today to share that with you and all of your customers. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. So the history of Kelowna. Shall we start there? How did the farm creamery get started?
Yeah, and certainly. So I'll throw in the first part, and like I said, Sam's a storyteller. So Sam,
Sure.
throw it over to you then. But it was founded in 2004 by a group of Midwestern farmers that got together really to preserve their way of life, to preserve their farming communities in the central eastern Iowa region. These are farms that have been in the family for multiple generations. And we trace some of them back over 150 years in the family. So on the farm for a long time, never been touched with herbicides or pesticides, certified organic farming operations, very small communities. Our family farms average 35 to 40 cows per farm. So I like to say our farmers truly do know their cows' names individually.
Okay.
So when they got together, they were farming organically. Some of their sources for milk to sell milk were disappearing in central Iowa, moving towards bigger metropolitan areas. So they got together and said, what can we do to preserve our milk quality, not go conventional, but yet maintain a high standard for our milk to get to the market? They formed what was known as Farmers Creamery that produced products under the KalonaSuperNatural brand. And that started in 2004, 2005. We were selling KalonaSuperNatural products. And as a small dairy, they started, they looked at the market and said, how can we fit in? How can we be unique?
Mm-hmm.
They said, well, everyone else is going to ultra high temp pasteurized dairy products with super long shelf life that basically kills all the milk. How can we be unique? We can do it a traditional processing style, low temp pasteurized milk, low temp batch pasteurized milk, non homogenized. And Sam, you have a great piece to talk about what homogenization does to the milk.
Let's hear it. Oh, I think
Sam.
you're muted.
Homogenization is an interesting story. It started back in France in the 1800s. Of course, that was when pasteurization started. But then it quickly turned into a way for unscrupulous dairy merchants to skim off the cream, which was prized for butter and other things, and then sell milk that had a lot less cream. So they basically said this is a new kind of form of milk. It was a marketing gimmick, really.
Okay.
And then it sort of became the standard over time. But our milk definitely, it has a different mouthfeel. It has a different flavor profile, for sure, than the milk that's homogenized and ultra pasteurized.
Interesting. And okay, so I'm going to pause there because I'll give you my first experience being introduced to the Kalona brand. I started at Fruitful Yield maybe 8-9 years ago at a store. And one of the assistant managers, I got there early and she's making her coffee and she opens up one of your milk jugs and she literally pops out that little plug, which sounds a little funky, and she's just like, this is the best coffee creamer you'll ever have. And I was like, a plug at the top of a milk carton? Okay. And I tried it and it was like a thick whipping cream. And so basically that's a result of non-homogenization. Is that what you're saying? Is because the natural fats will just gradually go to the top?
Yeah, we're actually, one of the things that we put on some of our statements is shake well, separation's natural. It's just a natural process. Cream is lighter than milk. So milk over time, the milk will settle to the bottom, the cream will separate to the top. And just a quick tip on that, I'm sure you've done it where you shake the milk bottle to shake it back in so you can enjoy it as part of the milk. One of the tips, and that works well, one of the tips to shaking it in is to shake it horizontally like this. Wobble it back and forth. And you don't even need to shake it hard. When you shake it like this, it compacts the cream at the top.
Mm-hmm.
When you shake it like this, it gently mixes the cream back in. So it's just one way to mix the cream back in a little bit more gently. If you ever have somebody that says, well, I hate shaking it up every time. Well, try just wobbling it back and forth. You'll get it to mix in easier. But that's fascinating. Yeah, my kids will react to it differently. I get it. My kids know what it is. They know it's cream.
Yeah.
They like when I can pour it on their cereal, and they're like, don't shake it up as much because they want those little clumps to come off the top, and they'll pick them off and enjoy them just as straight up cream clumps.
Yes.
I mean, it's
so good. It is. And you're right. It's kind of a shock to some people who aren't used to it because they're used to just picking up the gallon of milk from the store and it's all this perfect, smooth, product. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the benefit of that, earlier, Joe, you mentioned something about killing off all the milk essentially. So are you suggesting that there are enzymes or certain benefits in there that come with your process over conventional?
Definitely. So one of the things that we hear from our consumers a lot is that they can digest our milk much more easily. Well, during the ultra high temp pasteurized process that preserves the milk for a long time, and we get why they're doing it, it allows for them to ship it all over the country. Great. More people can still enjoy the milk. However, we wanted something unique, something that still has, milk has a lot of natural enzymes, a lot of natural bacteria in it that's very good. FDA or the USDA regulates that it has to be pasteurized for resale to make it safe to drink, but we don't have to pasteurize it to the point that destroys all the protein structure, the enzyme structure, which is in the milk naturally to help your body digest it. And there's been research done specifically around this of what the high temp, which heats it over 280 degrees, that flash high temp pasteurization,
Right.
what that does to destroy the enzyme structure in the milk versus our milk is heated up to 145 degrees. Very gentle pasteurization. It does kill the bacteria, makes it safe to drink,
Mm-hmm.
allows a lot of that natural enzymes and proteins to stay intact. So your body naturally recognizes it. Now you combine that with the non-homogenized, with not breaking up those fat molecules.
Yeah.
You have a product that's much gentler for the body to digest and enjoy. It recognizes it as a natural product for digestion.
Yeah, absolutely. And too, it's like you were saying earlier, if the priority was longest shelf life, then the most conventional would be great. And that's something within the natural industry and within our community we kind of get used to, is that if we're going to choose a more natural option, maybe it's not going to last in my pantry for 2 years. And so just deciding that that's okay because the product is just higher quality and better for you, and appreciating that is pretty key, I think.
Yeah, one of the things I like to compare to, because I think it does help people to understand the difference, is there's a place for canned vegetables.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, if fresh vegetables are in season, fresh fruit is in season, I'm going to go for the fresh every day
Right.
because it has the natural uh, vitamins and nutrients fresh and available to you versus a canned product. And I'm not going to get into the debate of whether
Balance. Moderation.
yeah, calorie wise, it's all the same. But we're just looking at what's the difference, and we're trying to provide a fresh, high quality dairy product that consumers enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So aside from the milk, we got to scale it back a step before that, the cows. So talk to us about like how you treat your cows. I know you guys love on your cows in a unique way. So tell us about your farming practices and the efforts you give for that.
Yeah, thanks. Because really, that comes first. It goes back to the farm, and why would we want to, keep the milk unique? Well, our farmers are producing a high quality product, and I've used the phrase tongue in cheek, but seriously, I've used the phrase with people already. They do a great product. Our job is just not to mess it up.
There you go. I like that.
So we keep it as fresh, as minimally processed as possible because of what we get from them. So our farms, certified organic, like I said, we've traced a bunch of the farms back for over 150 years without any herbicides or pesticides on the farm. Our storyteller here says it's when you go out on the farm, you get the feeling of an oasis, a natural ecological oasis on the farm. The cows get access to the pasture. They're out on the pasture all the time during the grass growing season. They're eating fresh grass. During the winter time, they're eating store grasses that the farmers have cut and stored for them off of their own farms. So the grass-fed cows and pasture grazed during the grass growing season. Like I said, they're small family farms. We set, and this is where we get very involved in the farm. Obviously, they have to be certified organic, but we set high quality standards.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wide range of quality standards available or that farms can meet and still sell to the public. That being said, we know when we're doing a low temp pasteurized product, when we're not over processing it, we need the best quality product right from the start. So we will set it up we set very strict standards for our farmers and incentivize. We pay them well for it, but that we get milk that is from healthy cows,
Mm-hmm.
that is from cows from clean facilities, just overall a high quality standard of milk.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you know what? I have to say, I'll just say it because I feel like everyone's thinking it. Milk, I feel like, has been the bad guy for the last few years. It's really nice to see that, and obviously there are people who can't digest it, and there are certain health reasons that would, prevent others from consuming dairy product. But I know, just even being in the wellness industry, some people are switching to milk alternatives just because it's a little trendy, or it's low calorie, or it's, or it does taste better in my coffee, I swear. I'm just teasing. But there's definitely been a shadow cast on milk, and I think it's unfortunately because of the conventional practices. So like you said, Fruitful Yield loves Kelowna. We really do, because it's, in fact, I'm not even sure we might have another dairy product, but we've had Kelowna almost exclusively for so long because it's a dairy product that we trust. We know that you guys care as much about the product and the process as much as we would hope that all of our brands do for the consumers that come into our store. They value that. So I'm just excited that we get to spotlight some real milk and also just awesome practices.
Let me talk about that a little bit, because you're absolutely right. A lot of dairies a lot of milk has gotten a bad rap over the last few years.
Yeah.
And obviously we firmly believe in the benefit of milk. Sam, I'm going to throw you out here on the spot. If you would want to share some about the ecological work that we've been looking into around farms that are grass-fed, cows out on pasture.
Yeah, so in our tagline is Kelowna SuperNatural, beyond organic, beyond delicious. And we've been beyond organic for a long time, but I think now there's starting to be a recognition among consumers that just organic is not enough. Just firstly, because of, like we've been talking about, the heavy processing that goes on that really starts to strip out some of the qualities of organic products. Mm-hmm. But the second goes to sustaining the earth and the environment. Our monoculture, our agriculture process is stripping the earth of its good soil, and at the same time, you're releasing tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So that's become a big topic of conversation, which, as you mentioned, is partially why cows and farms get a bad rap. Yeah. Well, we are very, very, very different, both in terms of our processing and then in terms of our ecological impact. To start, as Joe mentioned, our farms have been in the families for 150 years. They were doing organic before it was organic. And in fact, many of the regenerative agricultural processes that people talk about, cover cropping, hedgerows, using different kinds of crops, rotating cows. Our farms have been doing that for a long time. Okay. And if you drive through Iowa, you'll see these brown fields, tractors kicking up dust and glyphosate and chemicals going out all over the place. And then on ours, there are these green, like Joe said, ecological oases. Yeah. So a lot of companies are now doing regenerative agriculture, but we've been doing it, and we're going to start doing it more intentionally as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's a big part, is the intentionality of what we're trying to do. Is our farm's been doing an excellent job, but we're really working on how can we take it to the next level. To your point, and we really appreciate Fruitful Yield's trust in us, but what can we do to take it further than what we have in the past? And because it's important for all of us to be looking to the future, right, and saying, what can we do to make sure that we're making the soil, the ecological sustainability of the farm better for future years, future generations. Yes. And it's up to us to start now. And, I believe we've done that already by just preserving the market for the milk, but we can, and by maintaining those high standards that our farmers have followed, but now we can take it and even go further by looking at, a lot of our farmers, and this is an interesting part of Kelowna because of where we're located, we buy from a lot of small Amish farmers. Nice. And, they've been for years doing this thing without drawing electric off of the grid, and by farming more traditionally. Well, what can we do to support that even further, as they might be looking at a generator to manage some of their thing. What can we do to support a more efficient windmill on their farm or solar energy? Because they're not against energy, as a lot of people might think. They're against drawing off of the grid, the public grid, and they're about living a simpler life.
Nice.
Well, as they work to maintain their quality, what can we do to support that in a way that's sustainable in the future, that now they're not starting to use the 50s and 60s technology to operate on their farm. Let's get them to where they can keep moving forward with new technology that's sustainable, but yet
a little better.
Doesn't take them into using electricity and carbon energy off the grid.
Right. Love the innovation. That's amazing. Well, thanks for sharing those with us. That's awesome. And we love to see a brand that is doing more and giving back instead of just focusing on the product alone, because we're a part of a community. So it's good to know when a business is making good practices. So that's awesome. We're so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
So we've talked about the farm, we've talked about the cows, the product. Obviously, the product would be milk products. Well, I guess before we jump into that, is there anything else about Kelowna that you'd want any Fruitful Yield customers to know, or even your own followers, or anything you'd want to cover besides what we have so far?
Well, no, I mean, you were leading into the products, and I'd love to talk a little bit about what the products that Fruitful Yield carries of ours. But I'd also like to go into that. Would you give an introduction of who Fruitful Yield is to our customers?
Yeah, absolutely. So Fruitful Yield Health Foods is a Illinois-based chain of health food stores. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, you're closest to us. We've got a lot in the suburbs. We were founded back in the 60s, and our founder, this is my favorite story, the founder made Fruitful Yield because he felt that healthy, natural products should be accessible to the community, with the driving mission that we should all treat others as we want to be treated. And so he thought, well, everyone should have access to vitamins and things, not just the affluent community. So he actually put a lot of work into creating affordable or offering affordable products. More, back in the 60s and 70s, it wasn't quite as trendy. There weren't really flash sales on multivitamins and things like that. So Fruitful Yield was really kind of dipped their toe into the health food industry with the store, and then they expanded to own their own supplement brand eventually. But the 12 stores that remain in the Chicagoland area have now grown to offer more than supplements. We carry obviously Kelowna, so grocery items. We have like a lot of food that would cater towards people who are switching to a gluten-free lifestyle or can't do dairy, or unfortunately have several allergies and they, still want to be able to enjoy some cookies and some snacks. We've got a lot of stuff like that. We do have a huge selection of multivitamins as well. And yeah, our driving mission is still the same. We want healthy food to be accessible to everybody, knowing that we all have the ability to live a healthy lifestyle, and it looks a little bit different for all of us. So we just try to provide a lot of products that'll fit, a wide scope of what a healthy life looks like for anyone in our community. So yeah, that's the recap on Fruitful Yield. And again, my name's Molly Miller. I do marketing for them, and we do live streams all the time. We're all about education too, so that's why we do a lot of these live streams and invite brands like yourself to join us so we can get to know you guys a little bit better. Because it's easy to walk into a store and say, oh yeah, that's a good product and that's a good product. But we like to be able to explain why it is, or share why we brought a brand into our store, because we always have a lot of meaning behind the things that we do, just like you guys. So yeah, that's a bit about Fruitful Yields. Thanks for asking. I'm excited actually to be able to turn this live stream into a dual live stream with your followers too. So yeah, thank you. All right, so the product. Let's get into the products that we carry. I'll hand that over to you, Joe, because I know you've done demos in the past, so you'll probably explain it a little bit better.
Yeah, well, so Fruitful Yield carries they carry a variety of products in each of their stores. So I'm going to showcase the products that are in pretty much all their stores of ours. But I hope Molly doesn't mind me saying this, but if you go into one of their stores and I've mentioned the product and you don't see it in the store, let the store manager know.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you'd like to see it in there. because
Absolutely.
it is a product that they have reviewed. They're carrying in their store, in another one of their stores.
Yes.
And we'd love to have more of our products in all their stores. But in general, the item they have in all their stores that is our biggest item is the organic whole milk. I
Yeah.
mean, it is 64 ounce whole milk, non-homogenized, low temp pasteurized, delicious product, and something that's in all their stores.
Yes.
The other item, while you're there, you can't miss the chocolate milk.
Oh, the chocolate milk is so good.
They have it in the 16 ounce, so a nice. For me, a single serving. I mean, some it might be a 2 serving, but for me, it's a single serving. Non-homogenized, fair trade cocoa, fair trade sugar, made with fair trade cocoa and fair trade sugar.
Right on.
Delicious product. The other, and this is probably the top selling item of yours, Molly, is our 16 ounce of the whipping cream.
Yes, that is a popular one.
Yeah, it is. And, people use it for cooking. People use it for baking. The coffee creamer. We hear from a lot of people that it's their favorite coffee creamer. And then whipping it up. And we actually did, as Kelowna, on one of our live streams here in the past few months, we did a whipping cream discussion about different ways to whip it up and different things to do with it.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. One of my favorites lately is whipping up the cream, and just as it gets to soft peak stage, I put in about 2 cups of cream, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of yogurt in it, and you can use any yogurt. Obviously, we love KalonaSuperNatural, but then you finish whipping it up by hand or by mixer up to a stiff peak stage.
Yeah.
And add that on top of fruit, on a fruit tart, even on an ice cream sundae. You get that cold whipped cream flavor. It's delicious. Oh, I highly recommend it. So I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent.
No, that's okay. I was actually just going to piggyback it real quick because that's with that cream, because Starbucks is known for their sweet cream these days. I've used that, and I'll just do a few drops of that with stevia or honey, and I'll throw it in my frother for a little bit, even put it on top of iced coffee. So good. Anyways, I had to say that because that's an easy win right there. Just save your money and make it at home with that. Yep. All right. So anyways, go on. Whipping cream.
Other major SKUs that you carry, which pretty much all of our products, is the cottage cheese. 4%, 2% cottage cheese. So you have some variety there, options of what fat level you want, but 4% cottage cheese is always a popular one. Cream top, you mix it back in, so you get a nice layer of cream on the top of the cottage cheese. Over this time of the year, I love taking that cottage cheese, slicing some tomatoes and basil on top. So it's pretty much a caprese salad with using cottage cheese instead of mozzarella. Yeah. Because it has that soft curd inside. Sour cream, very popular item. Unsalted and unsalted butter, 85+% butterfat butter, slow churned. So going back to the traditional way, we don't use a high pressure churning. It's a slow churn. So it's a big batch churn that spins the milk with paddles in it, and that cream just hits it. And it takes a little longer to do it that way, but you get such a better product. And a bright yellow because of the grass-fed cows. Grass-fed cows put higher levels of beta-carotene, which is the same thing that makes carrots orange.
Oh, good to know.
The orange of our butter is naturally orange. We've actually been accused already of putting food coloring in. Trust me, KalonaSuperNatural would not do that.
Yeah, that's incredible, though.
Bright yellow, it's bright yellow almost to orange stages because of the grass-fed cows. So 85+% butterfat butter. And then the last product is a very new product for Kelowna and for Fruitful Yield is our French onion dip. Certified organic French onion dip based on the sour cream and with organic spices and vegetables in it.
Yeah, I have yet to try that, but it looks really good.
It's a good one, yeah. and it's great for with just chips or vegetables. But I'll tell you the other way it's really good is if you're doing a baked dish that calls for sour cream, let's say like a enchiladas or something, or baked potatoes. Replace your sour cream with the French onion dip.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Oh yeah, I would love that. Nice. Well, thanks. Yeah, we carry all those items that he just mentioned. And for Fruitful Yield or Kelowna pals that want to shop our website, we actually are adding Kelowna items to our website for store and curbside pickup. So I know we've got the milk, the butter, the cottage. I think we might have everything minus the chocolate milk. So we're gonna have to get that up there. So that's exciting. We're getting you guys on our shop online pickup and store trains. People can pick that up with their orders too. Awesome. Well, I don't want to take up too much time. I know we're running out in a little bit here, but is there anything else you want to share with Fruitful Yield viewers or anything else we haven't mentioned yet?
Just that we really appreciate your support. And we do have a coupon offer for everyone who has listened here. If you stayed with us or if you listen to this later, we want to offer you a coupon. And Molly, do you want to tell them how you'll send it to them?
Yes, actually, we're going to include a link to the coupon in the event page. If you go to Fruitful Yield's Facebook event page, where you'll see like Fruitful Yield and Kelowna, I'll pop it in there. I'm actually, since this platform is new to me, I don't know where I can add it in the comments, or if Sam, you're able to include a link somewhere in the comments. Awesome, thanks. So yeah, Fruitful Yield shoppers, feel free to grab that link, print out the coupon, and bring it to your nearest Fruitful Yield. I think it's $1 off any Kelowna item. Is that right? Awesome.
Yeah. Any Kelowna item.
So definitely feel free to try any of those products we talked about today.
All right. I'm going to throw one more thing out with that, Molly.
Yes.
Because we had talked here a few days ago, you had suggested that the managers will keep a couple copies of the coupon at the register. So if you go into the store and you forgot your coupon, just the inside tip. We're not going to put this on the comments, so only if you listen to this, you'll know. Go to the front desk and ask them if they have the live stream coupon for KalonaSuperNatural products, and they'll be happy to give you one.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, because the link, so guys, the link, it sometimes is easier to just bring it in. They'll need a physical coupon, so like Joe's saying, you can just mention if you forget to print it out yourself. Otherwise, print and bring it in and get yourself some Kelowna milk, some dairy.
You got it.
All right. Well, before I close out, I just want to remind all viewers that, I see Sydney's comment just came up. Happy, healthy cows equal great dairy products. Yes, agreed. So you can find KalonaSuperNatural products at any of our 12 Fruitful Yield locations. As Joe Miller mentioned, if you don't see a product there, mention it to someone in the store because we have access to ordering it. You can do a special order, or the manager just might start carrying it at the store. So we have their products in store. You can also find most of them online. So if you want to do a curbside or pickup order, you can do that at fruitfulyield.com as well. Joe and Sam, thank you so much for your help this morning, setting this up. You saved the day. And I'm also so glad that we got to interview both of you instead of just Joe. This was a fun little party. So thanks for your time. We greatly appreciate it. And to everyone, have a great weekend, a great holiday weekend, a safe one. And we'll see you later.
Thank you.